Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining us today. Whether you're a local resident who regularly hits up the West Coast to Go Community Center, a citizen of North Yarmouth, or just someone who loves getting into the nitty-gritty of municipal finance, you are in the exact place. Today, we're unpacking the community's fiscal roadmap by looking at the pivotal Budget Committee meeting from May 14, 2026. Now, municipal budgets can often look like a totally dizzying maze of spreadsheets and line items, right? But our goal today is to just cut right through that noise. We're going to transform those dense numbers into a clear, compelling story about where the money's going, what external forces are driving those costs, and how the town is prepping for the future. Okay, let's dive into our roadmap for today. We've got 5 stops. First up, the big picture overview. Then we'll look at the primary drivers, jump into capital reserves, check out capital investments, and wrap it all up with administration savings. Part 1, the FY27 budget overview. So before we can understand the specific moving parts, we really need to understand the size of the overall pie. The absolute baseline here is that the total municipal budget is increasing from $5,512,996 in the previous fiscal year to a newly proposed $5,925,369 for fiscal year 27. When we calculate the difference between those two figures, we find an exact increase of $412,373. That raw dollar increase means the total municipal budget is growing by a rate of 7.50%. This establishes our big picture. The town is operating with a larger financial footprint this year, and our next job is to figure out exactly why. Which brings us to Part 2, primary budget drivers. Municipal budgets don't exist in a vacuum, and our largest external pressure here is education. Our financial obligation to the school system is rising from $9,986,486 to a new total of $10,783,018. That additional $796,532 represents an 8.00% increase, which is a major driver of the overall budget growth this year. Education is historically one of the most substantial portions of any local budget, and honestly, this year is no exception. The second major external driver is the town's obligation to the county. County taxes are moving from $521,239 up to $617,739. Doing the math on that difference means we are looking at a jump of $96,500. And that $96,500 jump equals an 18.50% increase over the previous year's county tax assessment. So, between the 8% rise in education and this 18.5% rise in county taxes, the external pressures being placed on the community's financial resources become incredibly clear. Moving right along to Part 3, surging capital reserves. Just like a household saving up for a new roof or a new car, a town needs a really robust safety net. You definitely don't want to be caught off guard when expensive, essential equipment breaks down. To prepare for this, capital reserve appropriations are surging from $430,000 last year to $900,000 in this proposed FY27 budget. That is a difference of $470,000 being actively set aside, which gives us a 109.30% increase in reserve funding. The town is aggressively funding its reserves right now to ensure long-term stability. This way, they avoid having to suddenly borrow large sums of money down the line when major physical assets reach the end of their lifespan. Part 4, upcoming capital investments. Now, it's one thing to set money aside, but it is entirely another to know what tangible, real-world items that money is actually going to buy for the community. The primary upcoming capital investments are highly practical. First, the budget outlines the purchase of a brand new ambulance for $475,000, which is absolutely vital for emergency response times when a family needs it most. Second, there's a public works excavator slated for purchase at $220,000. This is the exact heavy machinery required to fix drainage issues on your street, maintain local roads, and perform the day-to-day heavy lifting that keeps infrastructure functioning smoothly. And finally, Part 5, municipal administration savings. While external forces are pushing the broader budget up, the local administration has successfully tightened its own belt. The cost for municipal administration is actually decreasing from $1,700,922 down to $1,672,651. Finding that direct reduction of $28,271 in administrative spending, which represents a 1.70% drop, proves they're truly checking the couch cushions for operational efficiency. It highlights a highly proactive approach to finding internal savings wherever possible. And that brings us to the end of our roadmap. We have seen the push and pull of this budget. External drivers like county and school taxes rising, paired with proactive moves like doubling capital reserves and finding those internal administrative savings. It leaves us with a critical question to ponder. How will balancing these external cost drivers with strategic internal savings position the community for future resilience? Thank you so much for joining me today. Keep asking great questions, keep reviewing the data, and I'll see you on the next explainer.